Congratulations to all the graduates. Let's talk about online banking. Most people do most of their payment with online banking. So you always expect your online banking to work on time and not disturbed. So what happens when something happens on your online bank, something goes wrong, the network is down or the system is down and you need to do that payment immediately? So that's what happened on Friday with the network for Nedbank. But before that, hello everyone, Vic here. Let's jump into it, shall we? On Friday, there was an outage in the Nedbank online banking. From their website, they had a problem to their apps where they had a problem on that as well. This went on for hours. First time it was reported was 9 o'clock in the morning, and the peak time where everyone was reporting it was between 11 and half 11 in the morning. Both the app and online banking was having a problem, but most of the screenshots and reports were coming from the app. I cannot show the actual screenshots because most of them have so much information, but I can show tweets that are showing that there was a problem, as you can see on the tweet. And as you can see what the notification says, something went wrong on our side. That is just the error people found on their app. And if you're wondering in all of this, what was the bank's response? The bank support team for the app first says it was a slow response on the app side, and then they said the team is working on getting the matter resolved and we apologize for the inconvenience we have caused. As the time went on, the bank finally made a statement on X saying, "Our digital banking channels are currently experiencing slow response affected by banking transactions. We are working on resolving this as soon as possible." There is good news right now. The good news is that everything is fine right now. As you can see on the graph, there is currently no problem in the last 24 hours, which means it is working well. What do you think about it? Give me your thoughts. So before we go on into the topics, the first thing we need to explain is what are information regulators and what do they do? Information regulators is, among others, empowered to monitor and enforce compliance by public and private bodies with the provisions of the Paia Act. So going into the topic now. The Information Regulators e-service portal for public and private bodies to submit their promotion of access to Information Act annual report will be live on 1 May. In the statement issued last week, the regulators said the online portal will be closed 30 June. What does this platform do? The main purpose of this platform is to streamline the organizational compliance journey, making it easier to meet the regulator requirements and protect sensitive data. So what do you need to know about this, and what do you need just to make sure that this works for you? According to the regulators, the report sought are for the 2023-2024 financial year, submitted in terms of Section 32 and Section 83(4) of the Act. The Information Officer of every public body must annually submit a report to the regulator in respect to the access of information requested, received, and processed. Furthermore, the head of private bodies or departmental information officers are required to submit the regulator their Paia annual report about requests for access to records received and processed by the body. All in all, what is the process to submit your Paia annual report? In order to be able to submit the Paia annual report, the public body information officer and the head of the private bodies or departmental information officer must be registered with the regulator. Submitting the report is good and all, but what is the purpose for submitting this report? And if you do not know the purpose, then you don't know whether you need to submit it or not. Well, let me give you the purpose to submit the report. Well, let me give you the stated purpose for the report. The purpose of the report is to give an account of the number of requests for access received, the access granted in the term of Section 46, the access refused fully and partially, the case extended, internal appeals to relevant authorities, and the number of internal appeals that were refused on the grounds that the internal appeals were regarded as having been dismissed. Paia imposes an obligation on the information officers to comply with the Paia manual and make it available on the institutional website, if any, and at the head office of the institution of public inspection during normal business hours. This is all about the report, and if you still don't know whether or how to submit it, you can go on their website. I'll leave most of the information on the description. I was reading a report on the strategy for South Africa to capture an increasing share of the demand for global trade and service, done by Genesis Analytics. I was just shocked by the growth speed of new jobs created by the ICT sector. This made me to look into the old and new network technologies in Africa as a whole. We've been trying to move from 2G, 3G to 4G and 5G technologies. But this has been slow. For people that work at home, this is the problem they have the most. But then again, let's go into more information about it. First of all, there are two parties that are mainly focused on this topic and section. That is the Association of Comms and Technology, which is ACT, and the Department of Communication and Digital Technologies. While the Department of Communication and Digital Technology has pushed the switch-off date for both technologies out to 31 December 2027, the Act does not believe this approach is ideal because it continues to put the state in the driving seat, setting out a strict government-imposed deadline. A more prudent approach is to encourage users to adapt these new technologies and allow the market and industries to lead the pace of to do otherwise could risk a disruption in service for millions of users who are still relying on legacy technologies. We need to manage the transition at a reliable pace. There are organizations which are worldwide that have been monitoring everything, like the Global System for Mobile Communication Association. Now let's look at the numbers starting at 2022. Over the period of 7 years, a total of 56 networks were shut down, of which 36 were 2G networks and 20 were 3G networks. None of these networks were shut down strictly because of government deadlines. These networks were shut down mainly to its market related. According to Isaka State of ICT Section Report 2023, there are 73 million smartphones subscribed in South Africa, with over a number of mobile subscriptions at about 106 million, which gives a sense of internal division when it comes to the access of smartphones. You know that South African Annual Reserve classified imported smartphones as a luxury item, and they are subject to be taxed as luxury tax of 15%, as well as an additional duty of 7%. So it's like this. So a device priced at 10,000 will immediately attract another amount of 2,750 in tax. While 60% of mobile internet subscription are still on 3G, this is predicted to drop to 22% by 2025. But the careful approach is necessary to mitigate the risk of coverage gap, particularly in the rural area where legacy media is mostly. Now, what about 2G? 2G is mainly used for voice and machine-to-machine interface such as emergency service tracking system, metering, security systems, and remote industry interfaces. The ISACA section report says South Africa has more than 11.5 million machine-to-machine connections that neither uses 2G or 3G connection. These connections need to be considered in the. Now, with all these connections, what about the broadcasting migration? The broadcasting migration has taken 9 years and it has still not been completed. The final date to switch off the analog TV broadcasting service above 694 megahertz is 31 December 2024. The current timeline for 2G and 3G switch off is much tighter, highlighting the need for the industrial leads to proceed. By freeing up the spectrum for more 4G and 5G networks, MNOs can enable the development of new innovative service applications that will drive economic growth and job creation. What do you think about it? Largest TVs have come to South Africa, and let's just look into it. The TLC Electronics, the second largest global TV brand and the leading brand for 198-inch TVs, has introduced the largest QD mini LED TVs to the South African market. TLC's X995 has one of the best picture qualities. If you're looking for a great picture quality and good entertainment, this is the one for you. I'm just thinking about my 55-inch, but this is not about size, guys. This TV is equipped with QLED Pro technology. The smart TV systems operates on Google TV with a Wi-Fi 6 connection, while the gamers benefit for an HDMI 2.1 connection and a feature like ALLM and VRR for smoother gameplay. As for more detail, I'll put later information on a later video when I go through the product. What do you think about today's topic? If you love my content, please subscribe, click that like button. Anyway, keep on grinding and level up.